should you visit the Legend of the Titanic Exhibition, London. Here to advise is the lovely Londoner.
Oi oi, here's me quick review of the Legend of the Titanic Exhibition. A bit weird, but quite good.
The history.
The Titanic was a bloody big boat, the second of shipping company White Star Line's trio of huge luxury vessels, coming after the Olympic but before the Britannic. On its maiden voyage across the Atlantic from Southampton to New York in 1912, the Titanic sank after a collision with an iceberg. Around 1,500 people died in a disaster, about 2/3 of all those on board. In the century or so that's followed, the world has continued to be fascinated by the Titanic. Who was on it? What it was like? Did they have nice plates? Were there jacuzzis? And how did a boat thought to be unsinkable end up at the bottom of the ocean? The ship is etched into our collective consciousness, but somehow it's been romanticised in a way unlike any other human catastrophe I can think of. Part of that is down to James Cameron's Oscar-gobbling film of 1997, of course, featuring Bosch Katie Winslet and cheeky charmer Lenny Kepps getting down to business in the back of a 1912 Renault. But despite the star quality of those two pretty young stars, for me, Cameron's real casting coup was somehow persuading the actual Captain Birdseye from the 1980s Fish Finger ads to embody the doomed Captain Smith. That is quality casting. Of course, there's nothing to suggest the actual Titanic hit an iceberg because the crew was too busy troughing piles of fish fingers at the captain's table. But then again, there's nothing to suggest it wasn't that either. Food for thought. Literally. Sadly, not even Birdseye could save the movie, which, in my view, is absolute toilet. But admittedly, I'm in the minority. I cheered when Leo finally got iced. I'm not heartless, but that bloody film lasted over 3 hours. The bloke had outstayed his welcome in my book, and my arse was numb as a f***ing brick. Anyway, this exhibition don't really have loads of actual artefacts and instead focuses on free virtual reality experiences the website describes as immersive, which seems to me an ill-advised adjective to plump for when describing an exhibition about a sunken ship. Probably worse, the site also keeps using the word relive, which seems to suggest somehow or other that we're all survivors of the disaster, which is doubly weird when you think that the last thing any actual survivors might want to do is, to paraphrase Chief Brody, go through that hell again.
I don't intend to go through that hell again.
Right, let's crack on.
The experience.
After a little bit of scene setting, the first major room has a mixture of plates, clothing, paintings and info about passengers. It's alright. Some of it comes from the Titanic's sister ship, the Olympic, and some of it comes from the movie, but it all looks the same, so if you're into looking at what the poshos ate their fish fingers off on board, you'll be fairly satisfied. The next main bit is maybe the oddest thing in the exhibition. Famously, the band on board the Titanic was so committed to entertaining the rich that they remained on deck and played for them, even as they clambered off into lifeboats. The entertainment industry sometimes gets a bad rap as a bunch of old lovies. But Christ, that showed how seriously they took the term, the show must go on. Anyway, to honour this group, there's a virtual reality experience where, and it feels weird even saying it, you're on board the ship and an ethereal band plays around you while you appear to sink into the icy depths of the Atlantic. I can't show you any of it, of course, as I had to wear a headset, but this is what it looks like from the outside. It was touching in a way, but also utterly bizarre. A showpiece room is a giant production where you can sit down, relax, and watch the voyage unfold from the moment the ship left Southampton. You watch a girl and her dad as they explore the ship, and it even takes you under the water to get a fishy-eye view of the Titanic in motion. The kiddies all made cooing noises when they saw a narwhal floating by, of course, although it's worth remembering that until the narwhal's cameo in the movie Elf, people mostly believed they was mythical creatures like unicorns, demigorgons or star-nosed moles. The movie transformed the narwhal's fortunes though, giving it fame beyond its wildest dreams and turning it into the publicity-hungry member of the morally bankrupt Hollywood elite it is today, forever slavering over supermodels in expensive night spots with its mates, Willie, Flipper, Nemo, Jaws, yes I know that's not its name, and Sharky and George, who are absolute filth buckets I hear. Makes me sick. Anyway, where was I? It's pretty impressive stuff, but like the band earlier, it starts to feel weird when you watch the ship hit the iceberg before you're transported back inside to witness seawater pouring in around you. Not literally, obviously, but it's an uneasy feeling. I'll be honest here, to me, it felt a bit uncomfortable. Learning about the Titanic is one thing, cosplaying the horror of the sinking as part of a fun family day is perhaps another. After that, there are some interactive games for the kiddies which are vaguely diverting, and then there's the final VR experience. Here's the amusing safety video, where you do a tour of the boat. I enjoyed this. You get to feel like a ghost as you wander past passengers and workers chatting away in a sort of animated but real feeling series of scenes. But all I can show you to illustrate it is this dystopian footage of some people stumbling around a room with text stuck to their noddles.
The summary.
Okay, here are some quick reviews from me mates Baz, Gaz, Faz and Ophelia. The Titanic Exhibition. A bit weird, but quite good. But should you go? Well, if you love the Titanic movie and or narwhals and don't mind the weirdness of a shipwreck simulation, then yes. But if the Titanic holds no interest for you, VR makes you nauseous, and the idea of pretending your ship is catastrophically sinking and you're about to perish will give you nightmares, then no. Do something else instead. Them's me views. Make of them what you will.
The logistics.
The exhibition is easy to find by tube. Get on the Jubilee line, that's the silver one, and head to Canada Water and you'll see Dock X next to a large body of water which may or may not be Canadian. Still, feels like an apt place to have an exhibition. A boot. It's open every day and is suitable for pretty much all ages. Book in advance for tickets costing roughly between 20 and 35 squid plus a booking fee because that is the world we live in now. Still, in my view, and for an experience lasting a couple of hours, that is very decent value indeed in terms of London attractions. Goodbye.
1,000 thank yous for watching. Do like and subscribe, there's a good chap.
Oi, Cartwright, where's me f***ing croquet mallet? I've got a match with Lady Allegra starting in 5.
Here it is, sir, and the pins is already on the veranda. La.